Door half open, keys in my hand, and I did that dumb little check everybody swears they do. Press check, mag tug, quick trigger feel. And the gun gave me that soft, dead nothing. Not a bang. Not even a clean click. Just wrong. If that wasn't a drill, I don't get a redo. And if you think that's bad, try having it happen on a hotline with a timer screaming and people watching. Same kind of failure and same fake calm hands clearing it while everybody pretended not to look. I felt my face get hot anyway. That's where best pistol died for me. Survive means boring. It means the gun runs when you're not at your best. Dirty mags, junk ammo, one-hand strings, sweat, cold hands, bad angles. If it needs excuses, it's out. Only 7 stayed when I tried to make them ugly. And one of these, I hated it, right up until it saved me from my own screw-up. Last August, my truck started coughing itself to death outside Victoria. 103 degrees, no AC, temp needle climbing. I rolled into a gas station, popped the hood, and stood there sweating. A beat-up Tahoe slid in behind me and parked too tight. One guy hopped out and walked straight at my door. I told myself he wanted a pump, then he didn't even glance at the peeps. FN509. Tactical sat on my hip. I'd carried it for months because it felt like a real tool. Dot on top. 17+1. Big grip I could hang on to when things got sloppy. He started barking that I cut him off earlier. His buddy stayed back by the Tahoe, watching. The loud one kept closing. His right hand dipped toward his waistband and my brain went stupidly quiet. I stepped off my door line and the 509 came out low and clean. Grip locked in, slick with sweat. Dot on his chest. Back up! He froze, hands up, then both of them backed away, cussing, and peeled out. No shots, no cops, just my truck ticking, and me replaying how fast that hand moved, realizing I didn't beat it by much. The 509 worked. It also printed like hell. Thick gun, thick regret. I carried anyway, I just don't trust how little time I had. Dust had my throat raw out on the outskirts of Seguin, clearing my buddy's late plus dad's workshop. Boxes collapsing, old tools clanking, heat turning sweat into glue. I carried the M9A1 M2.0 metal because we were way out there, and the property backed up to rough land. But if I'm honest, I also carried it because it felt like the kind of gun a serious guy carried. Heavy, solid. Like weight automatically meant safety. Gravel crunched outside, not loud, not sprinting, just steady steps, like whoever it was didn't care if we heard. The side door opened and 2 guys walked in like they'd done it before. One had a crowbar. My buddy froze so hard he looked unplugged. My hand found the metal through my shirt and just sat there while my brain tried to bargain with reality. Maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe they're lost. Maybe I'm about to do something stupid and ruin my buddy's day. That thought cost time. That's what stung. Crowbar guy shifted forward and the room finally snapped into focus. I drew low and clean. The frame felt warm from riding against me. Sight picture steady. They saw it and backed out talking shit the whole way to their truck. Like noise made them less wrong. No shots, no cops. Just dust hanging and my buddy breathing again. Driving home, I didn't replay the draw. I replayed that lag. The metal didn't fail me. My brain did. What came after this carried lighter, hid easier, and still made me check it twice before I walked out the door. Last winter I drove with no destination. Gray sky all day, radio off, just that itch in your chest when the news feels louder than normal. I pulled into a gas station and killed the engine, then sat there one extra beat like I didn't want to step out. The Walther PPK was in the glove box. Easy gun. That's why it stayed there. I popped the box and my fingers hit that cold little grip. Smooth, familiar, like a damn worry stone. That's when it clicked. I wasn't checking a tool. I was checking a comfort object. Because the PPK isn't a survival advantage gun, it's a survival mindset gun. It makes you feel less helpless without forcing you to admit what you're actually carrying. Standing there with the pump rattling and the wind pushing my door, I did the ugly math. If I call this one of the 7 you need, what am I saying? For $700 to $1,000, I'm not buying dominance. I'm buying certainty in my own head, and that's how people talk themselves into the wrong tool. I shut the glove box harder than I needed to. The next day, I walked into a shop and saw something modern and boring in the case. Nothing iconic, nothing cute, and it made the PPK feel obsolete in 1 second. I drove home and didn't put it back where it was. It sat on the passenger seat the whole ride, like it was waiting for me to make up my mind, and I still hadn't. Come with me, I'm settling this. Buddy texted that right after New Year's. He was sick of micro compacts and new release noise. We hit the range in that winter cold where your hands feel like... He sets a Beretta M9A1 on the bench like it's a final answer. Steel, weight, history. If things get weird, he goes, I'm not betting on a toy. First mags run smooth, heavy in the right way. Flat enough you start to understand the worship. Then he speeds up. Not match fast. Real life messy fast. Quick strings, fast reload, less talking, more intent. He slams a mag in, slingshots the slide, presses out. And it does that ugly half cycle. Not a loud jam. Worse, the slide sits just shy, like it can't commit. He thumbs it forward hard, jaw tight, trying to bully the proven story back into place. Range officer's already walking over. Calm. Don't muscle it. Lock it back. My buddy locks it back, and a small metal piece drops onto the bench with a sharp tick. The officer picks it up, holds it, then sets it down. You might want to get this looked at. Seen a few come through lately needing attention. My buddy starts packing up without a word. That little piece stays on the bench between us, and I'm looking at every guy who swears proven means won't fail, and thinking, what are you really trusting? The gun or the story you tell yourself? Last month, we met up for a quick range run. My buddy showed up talking big, then his pistol started doing that annoying, confidence-killing stuff. Nothing dramatic, just enough weirdness to make you feel underdressed. He's digging through his bag, frustrated, and he reaches over and grabs my SAR9 Gen3 like it's his. No asking, just yoink. That hit my ego, because in my head, the SAR9 still lived in the cheap spare slot. 4 to 550, backup gun. He racks it, locks his hands in, and goes, this fits, like it was built for him. No warm-up, cold gun, cold hands, rushed reloads, lazy grip. The kind of shooting you actually do when you're stressed and not trying to look cool. He starts pushing the pace, mags hit the bench hard, brass piles up, and the SAR9 just stays boring. That's survival logic. A gun that runs even when the shooter is the problem, not when everything's perfect and slow. He hands it back and says, real casual. You selling this? I didn't answer. I looked at his dead pistol sitting there, then at mine, and felt that quiet shift you don't like when the budget gun stops being the spare in your head. And the one after this, it's the opposite. Everybody respects it, and almost nobody carries it for the reason they claim. This spring, I started carrying the Echelon every single day. The grip felt perfect. The optics sat low and clean. The whole gun just screamed modern reliability. I told myself this was finally the one. The handgun I could actually run hard if 2026 went to shit. I was alone on a long scouting trip near Kerrville, miles from anyone. Late afternoon, I stopped to check a dry creek bed crossing. While I was crouched down looking at tracks, I heard movement behind me. I spun around and saw a guy coming out of the brush fast, headed straight for my truck. My hand went straight to the Echelon. It drew clean. The grip locked in. Red dot came up naturally. I had him covered before he got 10 steps closer. He stopped dead. Hands up, then backed away slow without saying a word. The gun felt excellent in that moment. Fast, comfortable, zero issues. Everything the reviews say. But on the long drive home, I couldn't shake one thought. I had trusted it mostly because it looked and felt like the future. Not because it had truly proven itself when things got dirty and ugly for real. It's a hell of a gun, but I'm still not sure. Feels like the future is the same thing as will keep me alive. Only one gun left on this list, and that one changes everything. My buddy Jeet wouldn't shut up about better than Glock, like it was a personality trait. He had a new pistol he was in love with, talking like the Glock 19 was outdated and embarrassing. It got under my skin, so I did the dumb thing. I tried to move on. I carried something else for a while, told myself I'd evolved, told myself I was smarter than the default answer. Then I'm standing in a parking lot with groceries digging into my fingers, phone buzzing, brain split 3 directions, and I catch myself doing that little setup check, that reassurance touch. The quick feel that says, "You're good." I didn't feel it. Not because the gun wasn't there, because the trust wasn't there. It felt fine on good days, clean days. It didn't feel true on messy days. That night, I pulled the Glock 19 Gen3 out, loaded it, and my shoulders dropped without permission. That's why it's number 1. It doesn't need me to believe. It just sits there like a fact. And that's the flaw nobody talks about. It makes you lazy. It makes you assume. It makes you treat preparation like it's finished. Next morning, I stop by the shop, and the guy behind the counter goes, "You're late." He taps the glass. People are circling back. Again, a guy behind me blurts, "You got any 19 left?" The clerk doesn't answer him. He looks at me first. That's the line for me. If I can't trust it when I'm tired, distracted, and rushing, it doesn't belong here. I don't care what it costs. I don't care what the internet worships. I care what runs when it's messy. This isn't best. This is what I kept when I stopped chasing cute and started chasing alive. Some of these felt too big, too ugly, too old, and they still earn the spot. One of them still bugs me, not in an internet way, in a "why do I keep coming back to this thing" way. So, talk to me. What handgun did you trust until it failed you, and what replaced it after you cooled off? Second question, 30 seconds. Shoes on or barefoot, you're walking out the door. What goes on your belt? I'm Steve. And I still check my belt sometimes and wonder if I'm lying to myself again.